The child, Lucia, was born on a stormless, moonless night in a remote village buried deep in the folds of a pine forest. Her father, Matteo, beamed with pride as he held her for the first time, unaware that in the hills above them something ancient had awakened. The old women told the mother,
"There are things in the woods that smell birth, especially one so pure. She'll come for the baby. The old witch always does. Be careful."
"Superstition. Stories to scare children," said the father.
But that night, the baby began to cry. Not softly, not like a newborn. It was a scream, sharp and terrified, as if she'd seen something the others couldn't. Clara rushed to her, whispering lullabies. Matteo checked the doors and windows, all shut, all locked. That's when he heard a soft tap, 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 tap. At the nursery window, he flicked on the porch light and stepped outside with a flashlight. There, on the windowsill, was a massive owl, its talons chipping the wood, its white eyes glowing like pearls filled with smoke. He raised the flashlight. The owl turned its head completely backwards, staring at him upside down. The owl whispered,
"Her soul is mine."
Matteo dropped the flashlight. By the time he looked up again, the owl was gone. Only a single white feather remained on the sill, too hot to touch. Matteo boarded the windows. He nailed iron horseshoes to the doors and laid a ring of salt around the crib. Clara burned sage until the walls sweated with smoke. That night, they didn't sleep. At 2:43 a.m., the power went out. Then silence. Then scratching. From beneath the house. Then the ceiling. Then both. The baby shrieked.
"Stay here. Don't open the door. I'm going to kill this witch once and for all."
The scratching moved to the walls, circling them. Fast. Then a growl. Not human. Not animal. Something caught between the two. When Matteo opened the front door, there it stood in the yard. A dog. No. A thing wearing a dog's body, cowering. Its mouth unnaturally wide, its eyes glowing red, its ribs pushing out from beneath too tight skin. It stared at him. Then it smiled. Matteo questioned himself, his sanity. Is this real? What is this thing? He raised the blade. The dog lunged and dunged, but midair, it exploded into a murder of crows, their wings slashing the air, their beaks shrieking curses in dead tongues. The wind howled. Glass shattered. Inside the house, Clara screamed. Matteo ran in. The cradle was empty. For one moment, just one, Clara stood frozen, empty arms grasping air. Then they heard it. Lucia crying softly, in the attic. They raced up the stairs. There she was, alone, untouched, lying in the center of a pentagram burned into the attic floor, surrounded by owl feathers and dog bones. Clara grabbed her and fled. Matteo stared at the markings, then at the wall, scratched into the wooden beam, in perfect cursive.
"One more night, then she is mine."
Matteo called the priest. The priest arrived, said nothing, and only wept.
"If she comes again, you will need this holy water. May God protect you all from this evil."
That night, they lit every candle. Matteo waited with a machete and a bottle of kerosene. Clara held Lucia tight, rocking in the dark, singing prayers. The clock struck 3 a.m. The wind died, and then the walls bled, not metaphorically. Blood dripped from the ceiling beams and bubbled up from between the floorboards. Then they heard her, a woman's laugh, soft, sweet, like lullabies in reverse. She came from the fireplace. Her body dragged itself out in pieces. Legs too long, shoulders cracked backward, face sagging off bone like candle wax. Matteo lunged with the machete, slashing her across the chest. Feathers burst out like ash. The witch didn't flinch. The witch infuriated told them.
She's mine. She was always mine.
Then take me instead.
Gladly, you fool.
Then her mouth unhinged, impossibly wide, and she bit into his chest. Clara watched in horror as the witch tore out Mateo's heart, cradled it like a gift, and began to eat. Clara ran. She locked herself in the bedroom, pressing her back to the door, sobbing, shaking, blood on her hands, baby in her arms. She heard the witch speak.
You can't protect her forever. I will devour her heart.
But she never came in. As dawn began to break, the whispering stopped. When Clara opened the door, the house was quiet. Mateo's body was gone. The baby slept. Clara packed what she could. She walked down the mountain with nothing but a backpack and her daughter. She never looked back. The house sat abandoned, windows broken, roof scorched, salt lines still glinting under the rising sun. As Clara passed the village limits, she heard it. Wings overhead. She looked up. High above the trees, flying against the wind, was a great white owl, trailing black smoke, circling them like a vulture. Then, with one final cry, long, furious, ancient, the owl vanished into the clouds, becoming nothing but a storm of feathers. Clara whispered a prayer and kept walking. She never returned. But every year, on Lucia's birthday, the wind changes, and something, leaves a feather on her windowsill. Still warm, still whispering.